particularly Jeff and Q50, as their cousin and beloved Bloodhound member Z Money, real name Zaire Nelson, would be gunned down near his hood while sitting in a car in a parking lot of a dry cleaners. Chi-Town Crime Chasers' Facebook page would be at the scene shortly after, filming the police investigating the scene, while in the comments of the video, Q50's mother would react to the footage, clearly personally affected by the death of her cousin. Paying tribute to him, both Jeff and Q50 would get Z Money tattoos at the top of their eyes, as well as a bunch of Z's tattooed on their index fingers, aka trigger fingers. Z Money's murder has never been solved, but it's clear from all the online rumors that the Bloodhounds consider their old friends from Trap City to be behind the hit. This murder now breaking apart the 0679 alliance that these two sets had formed over a decade ago. But it's unclear how much Trap City themselves were talking about Z Money's death publicly on social media at the time, but particularly since Jeff's death, they have become much more emboldened to diss him, with the young Trap City rapper Tero, who's a former good friend of Vert, even making a diss track that he would preview on Instagram. The song including a bar where Tero seems to insinuate that the Bloodhounds had pushed Z Money out of the car before or after he was shot. Tero, together with two Trap City OGs, OTF Black and iTrap Rob, or Trap City Rob, who the internet has painted as Lil Jeff's killer, would even give an interview to the YouTuber X-Man Rico, where they would insinuate that Trap City had fallen out with Drill City or the Bloodhounds due to someone from that side stealing a chain from one of their members.
It's the way ready. This is why I want the club too. They say his dad from down here, Big J, like that. Big J.
Yeah. Anybody you got.
Also, his daddy is from down here.
Yeah, fuck used to hang with them. They know what they did.
So okay.
They know what they did.
So okay, the Bloodhounds. Y'all was cool.
Everybody that got a. That was my homie.
That nigga ain't got no front teeth, bro. I just peeped that big nigga drive. He ain't got no front teeth. Crazy. I know you ain't get no punani.
Stole the chain, bro. We tried like he took it. He stole my own chain.
Who was that? South J or something?
Nah, brother. One of the other guys. This one of the other. This other one. Was letting him wear the J. He come back like he got into a high speed with 12. Line saying he lost it. You know what I'm saying? That's how broke they little. You know what? You know?
Yeah.
The young Bloodhounds, on the other hand, have implied that Z Money's killer is locked up, which is why they can't get their hands on him. With the Chiracologists then coming to a conclusion that Z Money's killer must be a Trap City rapper called Lil Cap.
The people still alive because he booked right now. The people who kill Z Money is still walking this earth. Hey, this tied on my face for no reason. It's tied on this earth. Hey. Jail saving his ass.
Who even had a song together with Vert and JB Bin Laden from December 2021, where even Lil Jeff makes a quick cameo. The older Bloodhounds too, like Derm, would also still in 2022 promote Lil Cap and Tero's music before things would go all the way left. Moreover, it seems that the young Bloodhounds, including Jeff and Q50, may have even been sliding for Trap City before the falling out. In July 2022, an alleged Trap City member called Buck, or Bucko, was killed during an altercation at a house party in Trap City's hood. While it's unclear what exactly had happened at the house party, it seems that Trap City and the 0679 alliance took Buck's death hard, and they wanted revenge. In a now deleted music video called Op K by Vert and Jeff, which has only been saved in a reaction video by another YouTuber, Vert begins the song rapping how they had gone sliding after Bucko's death, whilst also shouting out both Jeff and Q50. Then, at the end of his verse, Jeff too raps how he's also sliding for Bucko and that the get back had been quick. However, now the young Bloodhounds were all about getting their revenge for Z Money, and in the following months they would be associated with several murders in online rumors, one of these taking place only a few weeks later, when a young man called Lil Pooh, real name Pierre Boozer Jr., who was allegedly from the hood of the Flipside set where Jeff himself grew up, was gunned down in front of his home in April 2023, all the way in the far south side suburb of Sauk Village. After Pooh's death, Jeff would imply both on social media and in his music that Pooh had allegedly dissed Z Money, and that's why he had lost his life, even seemingly describing waiting for Pooh to return home while laying in the grass of his yard in his song In Your Home that features both Q50 and Vert. Interestingly, Lil Pooh's murder actually connects back to the murder of Bougie, as Lil Pooh's big brother is none other than the 9-5 mob rapper Mark from 9-5. Mark would even make a tribute song to Pooh soon after his death, but this time the song would seemingly have no pointed disses towards any specific set. Now, Mark being Lil Pooh's brother certainly doesn't mean that it was Jeff or other Bloodhounds behind this murder, but it certainly adds another layer to the story, as Pooh had now not only allegedly dissed Z Money, but had also been deeply associated with people who were in an active war with the Bloodhounds. However, rapper Lou Glock from the Mix Mob set, who is seemingly also related with Lil Pooh, recently called the rumors about the Bloodhounds being behind this murder a total fabrication, calling Lil Jeff and the other Bloodhounds high school musical rappers who haven't killed any gang members in Chatham. Some Redditors have also pointed out how Jeff couldn't have been behind this murder since he grew up on Flipside and was seemingly close with other Flipside members. Indeed, some months after Pooh's murder in June, one member from Flipside's hood would post himself still hanging out with both Jeff and Q50. But a few months after that, the same member would also post how he only associates with people who are really sliding and has no affiliation with any set, before ending the post saying F Flipside. But what makes this case even more confusing is that one of Lil Pooh's supposed close friends from Flipside, who even had Forever Lil Pooh text in his Instagram profile, would seemingly post an earnest tribute to Lil Jeff following his death.
Man, ain't no telling, like, he probably did. Jeff probably did do that shit. You feel me? He did. He might have not. Who knows? But as far as like the gang, some people clicking up and not clicking up, but some people shout him out, some people not. It's like, it's different shit that's going on in these gangs, bro. Everybody in these gangs ain't cool, bro. It's different sets. Like Tay 600 and Lil Durk wasn't cool, but they was around the same people. They was damn near the same gang. You see what I'm saying?
However, it seems that since then, this member has actually completely removed the tribute to Lil Pooh from his Instagram profile, which makes it seem like there may be much more going on behind the scenes than drill fans get to see. Anyway, it seems that the death of Z Money had launched a tidal wave of animosity between the Bloodhounds and anybody who dared come in their way.
So what was the one situation that has occurred in your life that made you say, fuck these niggas?
My homie dad, that's on my face, she was right here.
Z Money?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was super deep after that. Everybody after that.
Okay, I see Z Money on his face as well. Y'all share the same tattoo.
Know that.
So this definitely had to be somebody that meant a lot to both of y'all. How long ago was his passing?
May. Was that last May?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A year ago.
No, March. Yeah, March. Yeah, that was March. Last March.
And how did this death affect your mentality, brother?
All I see is red.
However, the Bloodhounds weren't the only ones getting active, and it seems that at some point after Z Money's murder, Q50 himself would become the target of a shooting, apparently getting shot in his leg, as he would mention in the song Coffin, which released with a music video in June 2023. Q50's mother too would seemingly confirm this shooting happened, as she would write in November 2023 to her social media how she had almost lost her son that year. However, at the time, there appeared to be no indication as to who had been behind the shooting. But that would seemingly change when Tero would drop snippets of his Bloodhound diss on his Instagram, with one of the lines of the song seemingly insinuating that it was Trap City who had gotten Q50 shot. Q52 has continued to reference the shooting in his recent songs, like on the song 762, which would finally be released with a music video in late August 2024. Q50 first begins the song while rapping how he was still spinning while having a crutch, before later returning to the topic and rapping how the ops had thought that he had died after shooting him until he hopped on Instagram Live. The war between these old friends, Trap City and Drill City, or now the Bloodhounds, was now in full effect. But as those of you who would have seen my Lil Jeff video would know, the next victim in this war would be on Trap City's side, and his death becoming one of Lil Jeff's favourites to claim in his music. On the 25th of June, at around 8:55 PM, a 19-year-old Trap City member called Leil, real name Leil Goens, would catch a rideshare car on the 1300 block of
You know how crazy it is, bro? That shit is right by Whitney Young. Like, they are bold as hell. Like, that's why I had to move out of Chicago, because if y'all know anything about this area, this is not a sweet, like, this is like University of Chicago, University of Illinois, Chicago's right there. No, bro, this is not like the place you need to be doing hits and drills and everything. And it's insane that they're getting away with this shit. Like, what the hell?
It's Taylor Street, located in the Little Italy neighborhood.
Taylor Street is not where you should be doing it.
Illinois Chicago campus, far away from Trap City's hood. But as Lil had sat down in his rideshare car, someone would quickly approach the car on foot, getting next to the rear passenger window, opening fire.
Loomis and Taylor, we're getting shots fired. Loomis and Taylor and Loomis. Caller heard 6 gunshots. Witness male black wearing black clothing shooting into a white vehicle, possibly a Toyota Camry.
After shooting Lil through the car window, the shooter, who apparently had dreads, would seemingly take off running through an alleyway to get away from the scene.
The male black, all black clothing with dreads, running down the alley westbound. Caller didn't see a weapon on him, but there's windows there shut out.
Meanwhile, the rideshare driver would immediately take off, driving Lil to the nearest
right
hospital,
there.
which was less than a mile away. But at that time, it would already be too late, as Lil would be pronounced dead upon arriving to the hospital. And the local ABC 7 News would be at the scene later that night and the next morning, interviewing the locals who had witnessed the shooting, with one of them explaining how the police may have counted 8 shots in the car window, but she heard more than 20. This perhaps saying something about the type of gun used in the shooting.
Chicago police investigating a fatal shooting yesterday evening. 19-year-old Leil Goens was pronounced dead at Rush University Medical Center, but police and nearby residents tell us the incident began in the 1300 block of West Taylor Street, where Goens was a passenger in a rideshare and was shot. Then the rideshare driver drove Goens to the hospital. This woman was outside to meet someone. She tells me she was looking down at her phone, then heard the shots. She thought she had been shot, but she had not.
I'm down there on the ground crying and shaking and stuff. Pow, pow, pow. They said it was like 8 shots. No, I believe it was more than 20.
As for the investigation, Chicago police tell us at this point, no one in custody
no motive.
As I covered in depth in my Lil Jeff video, dissing Leil after his murder would become one of Jeff's favourite pastimes, with Jeff rapping highly incriminating bars like in the track Stretched, where he says he caught someone lacking in a fishbowl, meaning a car with no tints, and saying that Leil looked up like he saw a ghost and he's now dead, as well as rapping that they smoke on Leil in multiple songs. However, Jeff was certainly not the only one, as Q52 would participate in this dissing with glee, like in the song No Tomorrow, released with a music video in April 2024, where Q50 raps how he calls the latest dead guy from Trap City an Uber pack, and he would continue the dissing in his most recent songs like Make It Far, where he rapped that whoever sent Leil a lift should ask if he made it back, and rapping that he's smoking Leil on the song Scarface, as well as on social media, making posts hinting towards something that Lil Jeff had said on songs, saying that Draco made it so Leil never got out the car. But it would be the song Splash Bros, released with a music video in late July 2024, where he would put out the most revealing bar, rapping how Leil had been killed with 7.62 bullets and mentioning him by name. 7.62 caliber bullets come in many lengths and are used in many different kinds of guns, but they're particularly common bullets for assault rifles such as the world famous AK-47. However, in drill culture, these bullets have become particularly associated with the Draco, which, as I mentioned before, is in fact technically categorized as a pistol, even though it commonly uses these very same bullets as an AK-47 might, and in fact, it looks a lot more compact than the version of its infamous big brother. But what makes Q50's line about Leil getting killed with these particular bullets noteworthy is the fact that none of the news reports about this murder would seemingly mention anything about the type of gun that was used, nor was this fact mentioned by the popular Spot News Twitter account that reports on crime in Chicago based on police radio activity, which Jeff and Q50 have even mentioned many times in their songs. However, as police patrols arrived at the murder scene and in the hospital where Leil had been taken, they would not only find Leil to have a 9mm pistol on him, but they would indeed find what an officer would describe as rifle shell casings on the ground where the shooting had happened.
Yeah, he know a little something. He know a little something. Street stop.
Rifle shell casings over here on Taylor.
1263 Adam.
Ours looks like a Springfield XD, possibly 9mm. We haven't touched it.
They're saying it's a possible 9mm.
That person was in the car with their handgun, but we have a second shooter out here on the street with a rifle.
Alright, so there's a second shooter over there with a rifle. Alright, 10-4.
Now this of course doesn't mean that Q50 took part in this murder, but it wasn't exactly a secret that Jeff in particular was very fond of using the Draco, to the point where he would even get the nickname King Drake. Yet knowing how Q50 likes to seemingly insert real details from real crimes into his lyrics, it's certainly interesting that he would get this fact seemingly correct, and the blasé attitude that he had to rap such details that only the shooters would know is possibly a prime example of self-snitching. But still, it could be a coincidence. But whatever the case may be, it would only be a few months later when the next gruesome shooting would take place, that Q50 is commonly referenced in his songs, the target of this shooting being a much older member of Trap City.
It's crazy as hell, all this shit's be going down so fast, and it's like, hey man, either you with that shit or you ain't with that shit. And if you ain't with that shit, you have stepping, just get up out the streets completely, because they ain't showing no mercy, man. 13, 14, 15, 16, you feel me? If you 11, 12, they ain't showing no mercy. You with that shit,